Hello everyone, I am back with another video on another interesting topic. So, what I'm about to talk about is about the potential and the works for the US government, most likely the Trump administration, to impose a bill and probably impose an executive order to ban Chinese students, foreign exchange students particularly, from going to US universities. Now, I don't know if this is just only applying to um Chinese students or, Asians from different walks of life in general. But they're working on a bill to ban Chinese students from going to US universities. Now, I don't know if it's another one of their propaganda, one of their yellow peril propaganda to instill fear amongst the American people of, China being a so called threat to the nation and national security and just being a global threat in general. They're the hokey pokey they've been on for such a long time, and they're also the same with Russia. Again, they're also the same against Russia. But I'm just going to say, okay, and as I was going to say at the start of the video, I don't just pound on the cracker. Okay, I don't pound on the cracker. It's not just white people I call out and pound against. I also do the same with Asians. Okay, my people, because they have also done a lot of transgressions against black people and Africans, black people slash Africans. Okay, they've also, just like many other non-blacks in the world, they've done many notorious transgressions against black people. And if you look back at my videos, okay, from a while back, I've been pounding on these Asians for a very long time. I've been pounding on them for a very long time, especially during COVID, when they were the first ones, before the Mexicans right now, they were the first ones. Well, when they were marching on the streets, they were the first ones begging black people to be on their side. And black people just weren't doing it. That black people at the time were starting to wake up. Black people were waking up and, realizing that throughout all these years previously that they've been marching and fighting for these people, they don't get the reciprocation back. So why should black people continue to fight for your plight and cause when you don't do the same for them whenever they get shot dead in the streets? You tell them that you tell them, just like how white people tell black people, if only they're following the law, if only they're complying and conforming to the law, they won't be getting shot. That's the rhetoric you spew towards black people whenever they get unjustly shot. And now, along with the Mexicans, you're over here begging black people to march for you and fight for your plight and cause. No, that's not gonna happen no more. And I, as an Asian, I'm telling black people not to fight for y'all either, not to be going out there in the streets fighting against these executive orders that are being implemented against you Asians and Mexicans and Palestinians and Arabs, Jews, and all the groups of people that have never been kind to black people. Black people have not forgotten about the shooting of Natasha Harlins. Okay, now for those of you who don't know who Natasha Harlins is, unfortunately, this miseducation system that Trump is also about to do away with, by the way, this miseducation system here in America just doesn't, teach black people about their history like that, because they just want to, this society as a whole. It's not just America, society as a whole, even in Africa, society as a whole seeks to keep black people slash Africans in the dark and stripped away from, knowing their true heritage, lineage, and culture. Okay, they not only are they, kept in the dark away from knowing their glamorous, rich history as powerful people, powerful rulers, that ruled the world before the transatlantic slave trade. They're not taught about all these other wrongdoings that were done to them aside from slavery. When I took American history in high school and also in community college, we were never ever taught about the history of black babies being used as alligator bait. We were never ever taught the history of black service members during World War I and World War II who were lynched in their own service uniforms while they were fighting for the wars of the cracker. What else am I missing? The lynching of Emmett Till. We're never taught about that. We're never taught about the lynching of Nat Turner. And so much more. So much more. Oh, yes. Must I not forget this black woman? I forgot what the heck her name was, but we're never ever taught of this black woman, okay, who was kept in hidden slavery even after slavery was physically the plantation we knew that existed back in the day. When black people were working in the plantations, picking cotton, getting whipped and lynched. The slavery we're talking about that got abolished in the 1860s, even though slavery, which by the way, we know that slavery never really went away. It got transferred to the prison system. That's why a lot of black people get wrongly incarcerated here in America. But anyway, the slavery we're taught in schools that happened, even though that was abolished in the 1860s. There was this family, this couple, this cracker couple that kept this black woman enslaved, that still practiced slavery and kept this black woman enslaved until the fucking 1970s. Can you imagine? Hundreds of years after slavery was abolished, this black woman got kept in slavery until the 1970s, hidden slavery until the 1970s, and the couple that kept her enslaved all those years were not pressed charges on. And as a matter of fact, a movie came out about this recently. I think it's called Alicia. That's probably what the name of that black woman was. But this is a real thing. You can go look it up. This is a real thing. But anyway, the main thing I'm trying to talk about is that, black people have not forgotten about, the racist history of the Asian community towards them. And going back to Natasha Harlins, shit, I completely lost my train of thought. Natasha Harlins was a young black woman who went to this convenience store. I believe this was in L.A. Please, guys, comment on the comment section if I might be getting a few things a little bit wrong. But I believe this happened in LA. A young black African American woman who went to a Korean owned convenience store in LA. You know, she was just minding her own business, trying to buy something from the convenience store. And the Korean woman who owned that store thought she was stealing something. But instead of, questioning her, she just went on to shoot her dead. And the only thing the Korean woman who shot her got was community service. That's it. And I'm not making this shit up. This is true facts that happened. Go look this up yourself. Natasha Harlins. Okay? And after she got shot by this Korean woman, there was a huge boycott and protest across the state of California against, these Asian communities and, black people, rightfully burning down all these Asian establishments that treat black people wrong, go to black community, establish their businesses in black communities and treat black people wrong. That's why they went out to protest and rightfully burnt these businesses and establishments down. Because you're not just going to go into somebody's communities and treat them like shit. And we're still seeing the same thing happening in China right now. Chinese people going to Africa, colonizing Africa, along with the fucking Russians and the Europeans that are still there, setting up a whole bunch of establishments and businesses like what they fucking do in America, in a continent that's predominantly black, and discriminating against the indigenous black inhabitants of the continent. They go to places like Nigeria, Ghana, Togo, Kenya, Angola, South Africa, Congo, Tanzania, Somalia, Djibouti. They go to all these places, set up, their own Chinese-owned establishments, only allowing the fucking chinks that live there. Yes, I said chinks. I don't give a fuck if I'm Asian. I'll say the word chink just like how I call white people crackers. Because that's what y'all are. And you can go ahead and say, oh, I'm talking like a white supremacist right now. This motherfucker's talking like a white supremacist right now. I don't give a fucking shit. Because you motherfuckers also get on my nerves to the fucking max. They set up their establishments in across all these different countries and nations in Africa and mistreat the indigenous native black Africans that live in those countries in Africa. And, also contribute to the untalked child slave labor going on across all these African countries where African children are being used for slave labor, okay, and get paid nothing to extract, all the minerals that we use to manufacture the laptops, iPhones, and tablets, and video game consoles we enjoy playing with and using on a day-to-day basis, as well as all these coffees and chocolates that nobody really and truly, if they can just, do their research, they shouldn't be patronizing these fucking companies. Like Hershey, Godiva, what else? Reese's, Twix, Nestle, all these evil companies using child slave labor to make all these things for just to make money off of. And the Chinese are there perpetuating and assisting their evil schemes. And what are Asian Americans here in America doing? Absolutely nothing. They're silent, like crickets. They're in the shadows, turning a blind eye on all this. And not only are the Chinese, being racist to black people in Africa, just like how they're racist to black people here in America and also across the Caribbean as well, like Jamaica. The fucking Chinese are also doing and causing and committing a huge, extreme, irreversible environmental destruction in Africa that's causing a lot of, endangered species of chimpanzees, gorillas, and monkeys to lose their homes and habitats, further putting them at risk for extinction. And along with that, the fucking chinks there in Africa right now, are notorious for poaching a lot of African elephants and rhinos for their horns as part of their illegal ivory trade. And what are Asians from other parts of the world doing? Or saying? Absolutely nothing. All these crimes, these wicked crimes against nature that their people and predecessors have committed and are still committing to this day, just like the fucking cracker. They're not going to talk about it. They're not going to put their own people accountable. But when when the tables have turned, they thought that they thought and had in their minds all along that white people loved them. Not only that, they have a huge culture, especially the Asian women. They have a huge fetish for white people, especially white men. And I'm talking about the Asian women now, okay? And they have a huge white worshiping culture where they worship white people and white men to death and think that white is right. When you watch a lot of their animes, I don't watch anime, by the way, okay? I've never been a big fan of anime. The only anime I really and truly like is Pokemon. And the thing I like about Pokemon is that the main protagonist of that show is an Asian man named Ash Ketchum, okay, which is plays a positive role in the minds of Asian kids to see Asian men as role models, in spite of how Asian men are so demasculinized and portrayed so badly in across medias all over the world, just like how black people for so long back in the day have been fed nothing but lies about themselves and also been led to think that white people are superior. White people contribute so much to civilization anyway. Pokemon is the only anime that I ever truly liked and still like to this day. I still watch and love Pokemon to this day, but I don't watch any other anime, especially because of the predominant casting and animation of white characters. Like anime is of Japanese origin, so all of the main characters, aside from Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, are supposed to be Japanese characters, but they're not. A lot of them are white people. And that's deeply rooted in the white worshipping culture amongst Asians. And right now we have an epidemic, a very noticeable epidemic of Asian women getting with white men and just saying very, very, very disparaging stuff against their own men, Asian men. Just like how a lot of black men today still talk so disparagingly about black women, Asian women do the same thing against their own men. And guess who's the most loyal towards Asian women of all races of men in this world? Asian men. Asian men have been the most loyal towards Asian women. The only reason why white men get with Asian women is because of that Asian coochie. because of that fetish, because of how Asian women have been fetished in American and westernized media for so long. That's the only reason why white men love Asian women, but they don't really and truly love you like that, Asian women. But you sorry asses have had in your minds all this time that white is right, and white people love you, but they really and truly don't. Why do you suppose you were called yellow just like how black people were called the N-word? Why do you suppose all these names have been said and made against you? Huh? Because white people really and truly never loved you. Why was there a yellow peril back in the early 1940s when Japan was a problem? Not just Japan, but China and all these other Asian countries were also demonized as well. Oh yes, especially during the Vietnam War, when Ho Chi Minh was only trying to seek independence from France. He and his people wanted nothing to do with France. They wanted to have complete control and independence over their own country. France resisted. And guess who butted in to fight alongside the French against Ho Chi Minh and the Vietnamese? America. And what did they what were they fucking calling these Vietnamese? Gooks. And saying that Ho Chi Minh is a son of a bitch. All because he wanted to do what he thought was good for him and his own people and his country, which gained the feelings of white people all over the world in these Western countries, which is why America and France formed an alliance together to fight against Vietnam. And then Japan committed a genocide against China at the start of World War II. Where was white people in all this? Where was white people in all this? All these genocides. Oh. Must I also not forget? Ooh. So many things are popping into my mind. White people caused the division and ongoing division right now between North and South Korea. Remember, you look back in history, there was never ever a North and South Korea. There was just only one Korea, and they were all unified. And what did the white man do? Did what he always did. Conquer, steal, destroy, and kill. So it's not just these African countries and predominantly black countries that he colonized, divided, and conquered. It's also these Asian countries as well. And a lot of you Asians today, especially Asian women, continue to think that white is right. White people are the best. White people are, superior. White people are good. White people are pure. But you hate on the people, black people, that have never, ever, ever done you this wrong. Ever! Black people, especially Africans, never, ever, ever went out of their way to colonize other countries and commit the genocides that these fucking Europeans and Arabs committed. It was black people, black Africans, who came to China, believe it or not, and taught you martial arts, taekwondo, and the concept of yin and yang. They gave you and taught you their spirituality, just like how they went to Europe and civilized the fucking Europeans, because the Europeans were over there in Europe living in filth. And what do you Asians give black people? Absolutely nothing good in return but hate. that black people do not deserve at all. And as we're seeing right now, have the tables have turned. Have the tables have turned. It's not just the fucking Mexicans and Indians and Arabs the Trump administration is writing executive orders against. They're writing executive orders against you so-called yellow asses. And black people, you better watch yourselves, especially for those of you who call yourselves FBA. I've been on a lot of y'all's live streams and podcasts. And I see how much y'all glorify Trump and think that he's good for black people. Nope, he is absolutely not. We all know for the longest time how racist this man is. Especially Elon Musk. Don't forget, Elon Musk is a cracker from South Africa who was born and grew up during the time of apartheid. So black people, don't think that you're off the hook and that you're going to get a complete break from all this, because you're not. But that's another topic for another day. I'm talking about Asian people right now, because I have to continue holding my people accountable and calling out against their wicked ways and transgressions. Asian people, do not expect for black people to be coming out here and protesting for y'all. Just like how you fucking Mexicans and you fucking Palestinians, you East Indians and Arabs, and even white people. Okay, for those of you white people who are still protesting against Elon Musk right now for the mess he's doing up in the treasury right now, y'all better not be expecting black people to protest for y'all's fucking asses, because they're not. Black people are tired. Black people have had enough. I guess this is the time to redeem yourselves, but even so, well, what makes you think after all the mistreatment you've done against black people are gonna trust you back ever again and look at you the same way? No. Because people on social media for the longest time, especially on YouTube, black content creators especially have been telling black people to separate. And even the scriptures, which is really and truly black history, the scriptures tell black people who are really and truly the chosen ones of God, the real Jews. The scriptures tell black people / African people to be ye separate. And I guess divine intervention is happening right now to where black people / Africans are doing just that. And keep up the good work. Y'all got you black people have serious improvements, tremendous improvements you need to fix in y'all's communities. And the problems that all these other groups of people that are having, they should be the very, very, very least of your concerns. They shouldn't even be any of your concerns at all. You got tremendous work, improvements, and healing you gotta do in your communities in America, in Jamaica, in the Bahamas, in the Caribbean, in Europe, and in Africa. Oh, must I also not forget Australia. I think the Aboriginal Australians, though the Black African Aboriginal Indigenous Australians, sorry, I can't speak, really need to come together, unify, and kick the fucking crackers out of Australia that are living there right now. But please, don't go out there and protest for these fucking Asians or all these other groups of people who don't mean you good ever in return. Only reason why they're asking for your help and, pretending to be friends with you is, just to get something nefarious and ulterior out of it. But black people, you really and truly have no friends. You got no other people but your fucking selves. And it is yourselves that you need to invest on, take care of, and heal. Not to mention, you gotta fight against all these other groups of people as well that continue to conquer and destroy you. Black Africans in Africa really, really need to come together. Only a few African nations in Africa, particularly the western parts like Mali and Burkina Faso, are waking up and fighting against the Western powers. But Africa as a whole needs to come together, heal their communities, heal their lands, take advantage and control of their own resources, and not only fight against the Western powers that are still there right now, but also against Russia and China. They're not your friends, okay? They are not your friends either. They're not your friends either. So please, do your due diligence. Be like Muammar Gaddafi and try to kick those motherfuckers out of your fucking continent as well. Black people, you also need to do the same in America. You need to continue not giving your money to these fucking Asians, Arabs, and Indians that build establishments in your community. Don't fucking give them a dime, not even a penny. Don't even give them attention. Don't even look at them. Pretend like they don't exist. And if they continue to abuse you, you need to fucking run them out of your fucking you need to run them out of your fucking communities. And you should have already done that a long time ago. You should have completely done that a long time ago, because I still see a lot of their businesses and establishments in your communities. That's because a lot of black Americans are still dumbed down and, in slumber, have not woken up yet. And that's why I'm saying black people have tremendous improvements they need to fix and work on. Don't go out in these fucking streets protesting for these people. They are not worth your time. Trust and believe. But before I conclude this video, I just want to give out a shout out to Lisa Cabrera. She was the one I found this out from. And another thing I forgot to say, I'm not going to be when I do these screen recordings, I'm not going to be reading from articles anymore. Okay, there's plenty of articles, many different articles you can read out there about these topics that I talk about. From now on, anytime I come on here to talk about a very important topic, it's just to give my take on it. Okay, my take and opinions and solutions, but I'm not going to be reading any more fucking lengthy articles anymore. You can do your own homework and research on that. But shout out to Lisa Cabrera. She was the one I found this out from. Please let me know what you think about this video. And I will see you guys on the next one.